All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I've waited a little time here, and of course, Brother Dan and I were sitting at the breakfast table this morning, and Brother Dan brings up LaVoy Finicum, and how that he pretty much was killed, assassinated by the government, and of course, I've immediately come and done a little bit more research, done a little bit more due diligence, and what I want to do is I want to actually use this as an example to inform all of us what we're up against and what's really truly going on. Because you see, the people today, we really truly don't have a voice. We don't have a voice of reason. We do not have a voice of truth that's out there representing our best interests. We're the peasants and the paupers. And they just simply do not care too much about us. But I want to bring about some understanding and some comprehension here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a few narratives here in order to try to get us to comprehend what's really truly going on, okay? And the truth is, it's done now, isn't it? It's done. And what do you need to ascertain from what has already been done? I'm not going to speak in terms or make phrases that's going to be well over your head. I do try to always make sure that I try to communicate as simple as possible so even a child can understand what I'm saying. And I pray that that is what can take place while I'm talking about LaVoy Finicum. There are a few things you need to understand about America. A few things you need to understand about government, law enforcement, militias, and yourself. We live in a world now where America has actually used the history from many, many different empires, all across this world, throughout the ages of time. They have learned very well how humans respond and how they react. You haven't learned because you haven't been paying attention, and many of you don't want to pay attention. Well, the truth is this. The truth is that they, through their system, has done a very, 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 very good job at making sure that we as a people are divided. If you notice, we don't have a tribal mentality. And that's the reason why, little small communities like mine, we receive so much attention, be it negative or positive. And believe you me, the government watching us. I know I'm no fool, but they can keep on watching. Because, if you're not doing anything wrong, then let them watch. You only have to worry about things when you are doing something undermining. I don't have to worry about that. And I say that to say this, is that that's the reason, there's government inherently has a fear with anyone who is what you would call an objector or a dissenter of, this one nation so-called under God. While we in the Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence is pretty much clearly stated that you have, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, and all this other stuff. This is all just a bunch of mumbo jumbo jargon. That's pretty basically what it is. Because the reality of everything else is when we look at just modern history, Waco, Ruby Ridge, Jim Jones, you can see that the government has already let you know what they think about people who are going to exercise their right to just want to be left alone. They're not going to leave you alone. So you need to learn how to navigate in this system of corruption that we find ourselves in. And right now, the American people, we're entirely too divided. Entirely too divided. And they know it. We're entirely too divided to win any fight against the government. Now, that's where a choice and decision is made. If you decide that you're going to defend yourself against a tyrannical system, a system of tyranny, you have a choice. You can die free. or you can live as a slave, because that's basically the only options that you have. Because believe it or not, they have given us illusion to make us think that we're actually free, but we're really, truly, we're all still slaves. I know this to be true, that we're all slaves. And even when I volunteered, to be in the military, I mean, I was in the 82nd Airborne Division as well as Op 4. But the truth is, I actually volunteered to be a federal citizen. I volunteered to be a slave. You can look at it, hash it, independent any way you want. Did I have that knowledge then? No, I didn't have that knowledge then. But I want all of us to understand something. We know how corrupt our government is. We know that. The people are not blinded to it. It's just that we don't have enough people that want to join together in unity to be able to do something about it. They have done a very good job making sure that we remain dumb, dormant, docile, and demoralized. They have done a very good job in making sure that we are mind-numb, mouth-drooling people that totally has to function and depend upon the system that they have given us. And if you notice, we don't have the greatest, we do not have the greatest form of family or nationality or nationhood as the Afghans got. Have you noticed that we still can't whoop them? Genghis Khan couldn't whoop them. The Russians couldn't do it. The Brits, they went away black, blue, green, yellow, purple, and brown. I mean, Rome couldn't do it. I mean, you know the reason why? The one difference between those people that seem to be somewhat uncouth and out of touch people, they have something that you and I can never even ever really truly understand in the time that we're living in. They have tribalism. They are a tribe, meaning that they are just like this, close-knit. And they don't mind dying for what they know to believe is right, because the truth is they see America as invaders to their land and their way of life. And most people, when you hear about our soldiers coming back in body bags from Afghanistan, you have to put yourself in these people's shoes. These people are defending their home front. And they don't take it too kind and nice of foreign invaders wanting to come in and change the way that they live, change the way they do things. And I think one of the biggest problems that we have in America is this right here. We think that the whole world centers and functions and runs around us simply because we are the world's lone superpower. And we use the printing press to back up our military might in order to go and promote tyranny all throughout the world. I mean, after all, the truth is, and I'm going to use this word for people who understand it, look at the European occupation of what has been redefined as the Middle East. There's no other way to put it. It's an occupation that's taking place. And they've even bluntly, right out, told you exactly what's going on. But when you have people like LaVoy, Finicum, and them going out, and they're going to make a stance. They're going to how do you put it? They're going to make known what their will is. I'll just use it like that. All right. When you have people like that, you can tell that things are really truly not thought through. Watch this. In this country, you always hear the militias talking. Every single time that there's an opportunity for a militia to actually flex their muscles and come out for the defense and aid of someone, you notice what happens? Crickets. You don't ever hear them. They remind you of the people who talk tough behind the scenes, but when it comes time for showtime to do something, they don't do nothing. Do you know why? I'm going to say it again. Because in this country, we do not have a tribal mentality. We just simply don't. We are conquered very easily because we are divided. And American people, they don't understand the difference between us over here and the people across the pond. You see, we live in what you call a free society. That's what they tell us. We are a free society, allegedly, because we are ruled by laws. Well, over across the pond, they are a closed society. And the only thing that rules over there is power. And the only thing is that is respected over there is power. And power concedes nothing. Y'all begin to understand this? While they tell us we're a free society over here, the truth is we are closed too, because America, you need to understand that there is a us and there's a them. And we live in a country that has basically made the citizens of this country the enemy. You know, I think about when the Americans descended against Britain over because Britain wanted to impose a 1 cent tax, and it caused a revolution in this country. 1 cent. Can you imagine it? Now you look at us today, to where between 38 and 49% of our income is taxed. And you know what's going on? There's no revolution. Years ago, they had the type of honor that they would bring a revolution over 1 cent. We're getting taxed 48, 49%. We march, we murmur, we complain, and you know what? The tax rate continues to keep going up, and it's going to continue to keep going up. And you know what? We do nothing. In other words, as a people, they got us right where they want us. They really, truly do. And I personally believe the only thing that is going to change all of this, and people can say it, and all empires fail. All empires. So America is right at the end of its run, because you can tell that the economy is failing. I know I have a lot of digressions going on here, but track me for a moment. America's doomed. Literally, we're doomed. There's no hope in this country. So that's why you hear me all the time advocate you preparing for yourself, because America is not going to come to your aid ever. America is not going to protect you ever. That's totally up to you. And that's why I say you need to develop a cohesion, a tight unit. You see, if you're going to protest, if you're going to make your statement known, have you ever paid attention? You can have one criminal or one guy that is allegedly a criminal. Have you ever noticed the amount of force that the American government comes out with in order to detain or just one person? One person. You can have a car, maybe 2 or 3 in it, and they'll bring out 80 to 100 with tanks and helicopters. They will. Drones and everything else, just to overwhelm you by power. And of course, then because they know that they have the power, you know, you got a lot of these guys that they believe that they're on a steroid kick or a mission kick, and they really believe that they're a manly man, manly man. That's just the way people operate. It's just a sad, sad thing. Don't get me wrong. I am not of the sentiment that all law enforcement officials in this country is bad, but they do not have a good record. Definitely not among my people, they don't. There are some that are actually for you to carry guns, and they're against bad people. But you have to understand that we do live in a nation of laws, and you need to know how to navigate in these nation of laws here. It's even kind of hard for me to speak on this subject right here, because I looked at the film of LaVoy Finicum. I looked at it. I saw exactly what was going on. And you have to understand that anytime the law enforcement officials have any encounter with you, fear is ruling in their hearts. Did y'all hear me? These people are fearful. They are in fear of their lives because of the training that they receive. They don't know how to exercise self-control. So one day, hopefully not, you may find yourself at a crossroads. And if a police officer has a gun drawn on you, that's because they're going to use it. They're not using that gun to threaten. They're going to make a promise they're going to shoot you. And if you're going to fight and have a war, and you're going to get into a crossfire with them, I guess you and the officer both that day is going to die. But know this, if you're out there by yourself, you're going to be overwhelmed with a force greater than just you, yourself, and I. They're going to come with 10, 15, 20, 30 people. We don't have the stomach And we don't have the where-all and the be-all, and the militias don't have the heart in this country to even rise up and do a revolution. They just don't. They literally don't. The only thing that's going to bring this system down is the Most High himself. And he's already doing it. He's already doing it. Back over into the film, or I saw that, I guess Finicum, LaVoy, he was driving a vehicle. I saw him veer off the path. He didn't try to hit that officer. I saw him come out with his hands up. That I did see. I did not see him running towards the officials like is what is alleged. And you need to know this, that anytime the police gives a report, I don't care who they are, they will lie on you. And they will have the backing of the government. That's why you think that less than 1% ever gets in and receive an indictment or even goes to a prison, much less the death or the electric chair. It just don't happen because they're in a system that agrees with each other, and it's the people against the system, and the system is against the people. And people who choose to be federal citizens, they have already made a choice and decision that they are on them people's side. And the one thing that the system don't like is people like veterans like myself or other people that would just make it plain to you is that your country don't love you. They want everything from you. And remember, government can't produce anything, they only take. America don't love you. America has no love for you whatsoever at all. And America, with their law enforcement, will kill you. And you need to understand that. So you need to learn how to navigate in this system, because if you choose to go out here and be rogue and rise up, you think about this. Have any of you people remember Randy Weaver? I mean, his wife was holding a baby in her hand and she got shot and killed. That lets you know that these people are soulless. Literally, soulless. I have my own thoughts that go on in my head. Believe you me, as well as a lot of other Americans. We're just simply not together in this country. We're just entirely too divided in order to bring about any change. The powers that be, the shadow government, is all but took over, and it's running the place. We're all slaves in this system, period. I keep digressing. But anyway, I did not see this guy charging like everybody else said. I do see mistakes, though. You know, it's one thing for you to come out with your hands up in the air. It's one thing to come out like that. But when you start, you have your hands up in the air, and you start making gestures to where you're getting ready to go down at your side, you have to understand the people on the other side of law enforcement over there, they don't know what you're getting ready to do. They just assume that you're a threat and they will kill you if you make the wrong move. Put yourself in their shoes. If you was approaching someone and you've received limited information, a lot of times the police officers, bless their unsanctified soul, they're just a bunch of privates. They receive bad information and they tell them that's what it is, and it's just bad. But anyway, they're going to sit and be in threat of their life. And then when it comes to them either living or dying, they will shoot you and have the government to back them because they have a badge and a gun and they're employed by the government. You need to understand that. I don't have a lick of hope in this country. I never have. I've been lied to all my life concerning history of this country. Every single time I start to think about the trans-Sahara slave trade and the transatlantic slave trade, which is, for some reason, has been a concerted effort to actually keep it from me when I was a child growing up. You know, I still have a lot of pain that goes on inside of me. I can't trust anything about this country. I can't. I served 10 years in the military in this country, so I know what it's about. And I don't trust it. I don't trust our government. I don't trust none of them. What I do trust is the people who have been conformed or are being conformed to his image, the Creator, the Most High, that are really, truly good people. But I'm sorry. I mean, my personal opinion is is that I don't know all the details of this, but I do know that a man is dead. And I do know that his mistake is, from what I saw, is he made a wrong move. He made a wrong move by dropping his hands and put him at the sides, and you do something like it, you're going to get shot, period. Law enforcement is supposed to be there for the public safety and general welfare. And if they give you a command like get out of the car, just get out of the car. But you also have to understand, you need to assess the situation, know your surroundings, because the day you do get out of that car, you may die unjustly. I mean, look what happened to Sandra Bland. You're going to tell me a strong black woman like that is going to hang herself in the prison? No, I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. I just can't buy it. So anytime that you come into any type of altercation or confrontation or just literally just being engaged with a police officer, you know this. That may be the day you die. That's just where we at in this country. The internet is full of information how people just unjustly, I mean, people are getting cavity searched by police officers and they get by. They're getting shot and killed in cold blood and they get off and they get by. I mean, we just live in bad times. Now you see the reason why I advocate you get out of the city. I think more than anything, I'm just talking. I think that's just what it is. I'm just talking, trying to get most people to understand. That's what I'm trying to get you to see, to understand. I saw the video of this LaVoy Finicum, and the lies just keep rolling in as usual. He was not a threat when he got out of that vehicle. He did not charge them like they said. I saw it for myself. I don't have a close-up. I don't know if his hands, because his hands could disappear after you turn your silhouette this way and stuff like this. But for trained professionals, I didn't see any reason for them to shoot him. Now I heard that he made threats. I am not going to be taken alive. I understand that he's made a decision, made a choice. I don't know. I guess because I know how unjust this system is. The courts are unjust. Our government is unjust. The system is unjust. It's hard pressed for me to even believe anything honorable about it. I just know. I know the history of this country and what they think about veterans and what they've done to veterans. I know the history of this country, what they've done to my people, and they still continue to keep doing it under a soft form, trying to make people think that people are not slaves anymore. But I'm not stupid. I'm not a fool. I just don't have a lick of confidence in this country. I just don't. I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's all I'm going to talk about. But, the bottom line is if we're going to be strong as a people, we need to learn how to be a tribe. And most people don't want to do that. Even when you just think about when you go down the road, you look at all these homes. You got this person that don't know this person, don't know this person, don't know this person. There's no relationship, no trust. But it's amazing. The government expects you to trust them simply because they question, but they don't trust you at all. It's just, anyway, gives me a headache. I think I've said enough. I think you get the picture and stuff, but I'm going to end this by saying save yourself. Live a quiet and peaceable life is what you do, if all possible. King